I'm sorry. It's this guy down here.
The hell is that?
Welcome everybody to something old, something different, something new, something you might have seen before, something legendary. Now, for those who have followed me for any stretch of time, you know this. I had a legend stream back in the day, and it was a crazy little stream. I got a ragtag bunch of individuals together, and we started talking shop about Cobra Kai and he's all that, and it led to a he's all that watch party where I was eating pineapple and pizza, and it was a whole thing. And it was a lot of fun, and I had a man bun then. So, yeah, strange times. But fast forward a year later on, where has it all been? Well, life. But here we are. And from this point forward, I want to do it at least once a month. Now, it's going to consist of me, Christian, Ty, who's gone off camera. There he is. Juliana, Evan, Alex, and occasionally Brown and Briggy, who have featured in the streams in the past, will also be reappearing, and our man Julian, who is likely to appear soon. Evan is here as the King's representation. Everyone give a shout out to Evan. Sup, dude? Crossover.
What is going on, everybody?
And a shout out to the one, the only badass Juliana. Hey.
Oh, I should have done the Iron Man with his arms out.
Oh, okay, go on then. Go do it.
Oh, I can't do it because the screen is too small.
For Christ's sake. And Alex, my number one student, is back. What's up, bro?
What's up?
Man like Ty. And of course,
is this your card?
And of course, the Master Assassin. So, what are we talking about in this stream? Well, just before I get into the topics and what we're talking about, these streams will probably run for about an hour at length. They'll never go anything past that. That way we keep it like sort of short, concise, to the point. It won't be like how the King streams are, where it's like longer, because we tend to get kind of boisterous and we just go on for like hours. And also, you know, I don't mean to be that guy.
Yeah.
What'd you say, Ty? Yeah. Thank you. I love it. Brilliant. Also, speaking of, actually, before I go any further, Ty, I want you to use this as an opportunity to plug your new adventure. So tell us all about it, sir. Tell me all about it.
Put me on a spot. Okay.
I didn't.
Here goes. Hi, Jacob's people and the world of the internet. Yes, I am returning to the internet. It's been so long. I'm old man now. I've had many Big Macs, many quarter pounders. I've had too many Pizza Huts. So I need to get off my ass. Well, I won't be off my ass particularly, but I'll still be sitting down. But I'll be doing something whilst on my ass. Enough talk about my ass. I'm starting back a podcast, and I think Jacob broke his lightsaber. Focus. Hey.
Right, sorry, my bad.
Break it
your favorite franchise, Ty.
I'm starting up a podcast, folks, back on the old channel. Yeah, Jacob will be my co-host for a bit. If Jacob wants to stay along, as long as he wants, they could be
absolutely, son.
We can have more guests and stuff, and yeah, it's going to be pop culture centered and just everything in general. So
okay,
yeah,
do you have a link that we can bung in the comment section so we can just plug that like straight away?
Damn, Daniel. Jacob Vamp. Will I send it to you?
Right. Okay. You just post it in the chat here, and then I'll pin it above. But yes, for those who are wondering, where are the Kings? Oh my God, how are you replacing? No. This is just the larger chosen verse. See, I built a universe here, and it's time to start maximizing it to its fullest potential. And this year, I'm coming for it all. We're doing everything this year. So. Now that Ty's got that little announcement out of the way and Evan's pissing himself, for the love of Jiminy Cricket, Evan, I'm going to be on Ty's channel. We're going to be doing a little podcast, probably weekly or monthly, still to be determined, but we'll figure that out. So make sure you head on over there and check out, subscribe, jump in.
We're aiming for weekly.
Tell them I sent you, and we're going to get our boy steamrolling with some stuff. Now, you will have seen Chris and Evan on the King's channel before, King's streams before. They're here to sort of, spread out the numbers a little bit. And of course, Juliana and Alex were the two OGs that I started this little adventure with, and they're back. How are you both feeling?
Amazing.
It's been a long time. Like, honestly, I didn't expect it to be a year since nearly we did that last one. A whole year.
Jacob, it was 2 years. Nearly.
Oh, yeah, it was 2 years ago.
I'm leaving.
Jacob,
I'm head out.
your
This is a takeover.
source your facts, please, Jacob, sir.
2 years. Do you know what? Allow me to actually
Dude,
get the.
you just got beaten by
out.
simple math.
No, I know. Shocking, isn't it?
Wow. That's crazy. Life happens. Life. I really am the man out of touch. Yeah. I actually set you up for that quite well. I just realized. Let me run through the chat and see who we got in here. Forever Red, Dylan, what's up? Lisa, Darth Prodigy. You just got finished watching The Beekeeper. Nice. Joshua, Cody. What's up, dude? Tristan, Charlie, Evan. Hi, dude. Juliana. Hello. Yeah, I'm doing. Oh, you said that to Alexis. All right. A frog's ass. That's my expression. I'm not even going to address that, Danny. Adrian, what's up? Shamoon, what's up, dude? So, what do I want to talk about in this stream? Well, going forward, there's going to be a specific agenda. There's going to be specific lists and things that we're talking about. But as of right now, it's merely just to set the foundation for the months going forward. Because I would like to do this monthly. So we'll set time aside once a month on a Saturday together whenever it's all convenient for us. And we can it gives us a whole month to let like pop culture news like build up, and then we have a lot to talk about. Or if there's anything pressing for something old school, like I don't know, maybe you guys are watching Harry Potter one day and you're like, hey, I want to talk about this thing. Like, you know what? We can turn that into a discussion. Boom. But let's start with Cobra Kai season 5. And the reason I want to start with that is everyone knows what I have to say.
Wait, did you say season 5? Can you get the background at least right, please? If you're going
right, I'm filtering. I'm filtering through the back.
Tisk.
If you're going to say something, at least get the source material right, Jake.
All right. Cool.
10 points taken from Gryffindor.
Cool. Fair enough. No, you know what? All right, fair enough. Got me good on that. Anyhow, there
Hello,
you go.
McFly. Hello.
Right. That's the one I was going to change it to.
All right. That works.
There you go. We'll leave it as silver. We've got 20 people watching right now. Smash that like button, people. Okay, so we all know what I have to say on Cobra Kai season 5. It's been pretty much well documented. I've covered it in like 50 million Robbie videos and everything else. And just because it's been a while, and I have to do this because you're in the corner, Alex, and I hope it gets you laughing like it used to.
I still have one of those videos.
We're going to start with you, Alex. And then we're going to go like in a round robin reverse. So we'll go Alex, Evan, Juliana, Ty, Chris, me. And like any topic, if you don't have anything to say, just pass it along. But, you know, if you do, then chime in. Easy going. Alex, what did you think of season 5? Just as a little quick summary. And then we'll get a summary from each of us. And then we'll just do a bounce back and forth.
When did season 5 come out? What was that, like a year and a half ago, right? Something
September
like that.
2022.
Oh my god. I thought it was great. I loved it. It's tied for me with season 3 because what it just did with the characters and stuff, and like just not even knowing that it was. I was like, there's no way it could get more crazy, and it did, and it got more ridiculous, and I loved every second of it. And and yeah, just great character development. A lot of characters like got to interact that never did before. A lot of people dropped like their beefs and stuff, so which was nice. And
that was one of the, like my highlights of the whole season. Was it was just like, finally we're stopping this petty bullshit and we're putting it aside and we're letting it go. It was so refreshing to see, like the amount of people that were like, oh, I want them to keep fighting. Oh, boring, we've seen it for too long. Enough now. Carry on.
But yeah, it was really good. I loved it. It was awesome. It was really cool. It was it's tied for me with season 3. It was great.
Oh, that's awesome. Dude, I still stand by what I said that yo ho, a pirate's life for me. Let me play the clip for you, Danny. Where is it?
It's just good business.
Where is it? Let me see if I can find it.
Love that one.
I had it here somewhere. Where are they?
It's just good business.
Marvelous stuff. Another Robbie video. Juliana, what did you think of season 5? What was your little consensus?
Yeah, honestly, I think after season 4, I started to have some mixed feelings about Cobra Kai as a show in general. I wasn't really quite sure what direction they were taking it at and how
Yeah.
safe they were going to play it for the next season, or how unsafe, clearly. So yeah, I thought honestly, I kind of went in not knowing anything, which was great. This time around, I didn't really pay attention to theories or anything like that. I just kind of sat down, binged the whole thing, and just kind of let it happen. And I actually think that was probably the best way to watch it, because honestly, the stakes just got bonkers the whole way through. It was pretty wild, which I liked. I think they definitely had more fun with it than season 4. Definitely out of the realm of reality for sure. But I think in terms of where I would put it, I keep going back and forth between season 1 and season 5, because for me, my favorite season 3, and then it's either season 5 or season 1. So it's definitely up there in my top 3, but I'm just not quite sure where it fits. I'll probably have to do a rewatch of everything. But I think just to bounce off what Alex was saying, I loved how Miguel and Robbie came together, and how even towards the end, Sam and Tori put their differences aside. And I think, we've definitely come to see a lot more humanity from Tori, especially. And that scene where Sam visits her house and Tori's just utterly broken, had her hand smashed in, the house is a mess. It honestly made me tear up. And I think that was the first time I really, really felt that much sympathy for Tori, because I was always back and forth like, but how she's been brought up doesn't excuse her current actions. But it was in that moment where I really, really, really felt for her. So they did a really, really good job with her arc this season as well.
I agree.
But yeah, overall, I would definitely put it somewhere in the middle. Probably not my favorite, as I did feel that the cast is becoming quite crowded.
I feel you on that. It's really extensive now. There's like a lot of people.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think season 3 is still a win for me, because of just, the originals and what they were going through at that time, and just that more smaller kind of concise story. But in saying that, season 5 was wild. It really raised the stakes, and it was really, really enjoyable to watch. So that's my take.
Nice, marvelous. Because the thing is, I've spoken to you both individually about it, but in this kind of way where we can expand upon points, I haven't really gotten the full consensus, because someone's been a ghost for 2 years. Not me. I'm here always. Anyhow, Evan, sir, you're next. What's your overall consensus of season 5? I know you've been on the streams with me and the boys, and you've kind of got it very well documented. But is there anything more you want to add in or chime in about the season as a whole? And now that there's been enough time that's passed, do you feel differently about anything?
I haven't changed my thoughts. I still think it's the best season in terms of writing, in terms of storyline, in terms of everything. I think it was a culmination of seasons 1 to 4 all together, and it was a good ending. In terms of the first, you say phase, in terms of the first part of the story. But it was just, everything about it was brilliant. I don't have many bad things to say about the season. Unlike with other seasons, there's always things you can question, but with season 5 you can't, and I think that's kudos to the writers. And
agree.
It was season. I think we said when it first came out, it was season 3 on steroids. I think that was what we first said.
That's the perfect way to describe it.
Yeah, it was. It's just a combination of the first 4 seasons, and everything's pretty much been tied up apart from a couple storylines which will be resolved in season 6. But yeah, it was the best season, and it's just everything about it was great. And yeah, we've said everything already, but there's not much more to say. I need to rewatch it because I haven't watched it fully for ages, but it was consisted of some of the best episodes as well of the whole series, I think. Yeah. And especially episode 5 and 6.
Dude, do you remember my reaction to episode 6? That I was crying like a little bitch. I don't know if you guys have seen my reaction when me and the Kings watched it, but honestly,
we were tearing up.
I talked so much about how Robbie's arc, even Miguel's, all the kids' arcs, they all hit us in a certain way. But when I said that, hey, Robbie's going to come home and it's going to be emotional, it isn't because I had some insider knowledge. It's because they were saving it for the right moment, because once you do it, you can't undo it. And the payoff was so beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
Like
No,
the
that made me
Jumphead
cry.
priest kicking the shit out of those people in the prison and having that badass bang. And then he comes up. I'm like, oh! And then we get that scene. Like, it's epic. It's amazing. Then there's the scene with Daniel and Amanda and all that talk about Miyagi and his presence and what it meant to Daniel and what Miyagi thought of Daniel. And it's like, in a way, I was crying like a baby. Stuart, welcome back. Legends, hope you're well. Can't stay, but she wanted to pop in and say hi. Looking forward to listening to this on rewatch. Hope you have a good rest of your stream. Thanks, Stuart. Everyone raise a toast to that man, because that man got me this lovely hat right here. Something my old Robbie videos were actually quite famous for. Yeah? Yeah? Master of context and nuance since 1997.
That's the
Yeah.
best hat.
Arguable,
Thank you,
debatable.
Stuart. I would wear it, but I've got the bandana on. But when they had that scene where it's like, you didn't fail me, and then it just cuts. Oh, I was feeling it, and then the tears were flowing.
Especially that scene when he's walking around looking at all the things with Miyagi.
Holy
Anything
shit,
with
nearly 30
Miyagi
people
always
watching. Smash that like button.
Anything with Miyagi always makes me cry. But I mean that part of the episode was
The score was perfect. Just everyone
yeah.
being there was perfect. Just the whole setting. I think
The whole
it
setting.
really moved me to tears, that one. I'm not afraid to admit that.
They always know how to do a scene like that well, and
yeah,
kudos to the writers. But yeah, I
That's
think
the
everybody
thing.
was crying during that scene.
For
Yeah,
sure.
it was like the waterworks were flowing.
They always manage to do just the really big emotional punches. Like, you might have some wishy-washy scenes here and there. You might have a couple of little filler bits, some here and there, but they always manage to tie it up together in a nice little bow. And when they do, and everyone comes together, it's just so epic.
Yeah, it's great.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
just so heartwarming and so endearing. And I've always said it since day one. Everyone's like, oh, it's a show about karate. Yeah. It's like, on the surface, yes,
There's a lot more to it.
it's a karate gang war, like on the surface. And
Yeah.
as a concept,
More like a tribe war.
similar, yeah. Like, as a concept, it shouldn't work. Oh, Jesus. As a concept, it shouldn't work, but it does. And when the scenes hit, they freaking hit. And dare I say, and I've said it since day one, since I met every single one of you, this show has given me the best gift ever. I have a chosen family forever because of this show. And to have people that care about pop culture the way I do, and arguably more so, when you can talk about a show about karate and how a scene where a character coming back to where they belong gets everyone in their feels and everyone all unanimously in agreement that it's beautiful, is a beautiful thing. And that's what storytelling is for. That's what is becoming a forgotten art nowadays. And Cobra Kai is an anomaly. You don't get Cobra Kai often. You really don't, especially in today's current climate where everything's just getting churned out. The cow's udders are being milked so much they're on fire. Like, you know, you got bloody Mickey Mouse over there and Goofy going, doing a bunch of... I'm really trying, Alex.
That gets me every time.
The best one was when I went, and then you went, caught you right off guard. But it's such a great thing to have a show like this to talk about. And now that we're approaching season 6, like, we got to enjoy this because, we know where things are going to go. Sony. But,
don't even get me started.
We're not. Sorry,
Whatever.
the way you said that was. But enjoy this ride, Ty, do you have any sort of overall summary with season 5 and how you feel about it? I know you're the biggest Hawk fan out there, except
the biggest what fan? What?
Hawk.
Hawk.
Oh hell yeah! Hawk's my guy, man. Today, bring back the hair. Bring back the hair, man.
You're about to face the fear of the Hawk. Now you're
I
about to get
didn't
this
get
L
that.
right here.
Yeah, Hawk dub for ages. Just to say, love the fight. The season before, the fight hit the final fight of the All Valley with him and Robbie.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
to say, lovely.
Definitely
But
was the best
season
fight.
5, it was popping. I was like, I can't even remember. It's been so long. I remember the end bit of it. I really liked Kenny. I was like, I kind
RJ?
of.
Yeah, no, I kicked him in the face in season 4.
And yeah, I liked how he's how he grown, how he started. I see a lot of myself in Kenny in a lot of ways. That's why I kind of it's like it was a bit of the nerd, and then I don't know, I guess I kind of still I'm a nerd, but like I think Kenny over a while came out of his shell and like he's kind of found his feet, and maybe he lost his path, but what I've says just because someone loses their path doesn't mean they lost their
Because
way.
someone stumbles forward.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one. There you go.
That person is not lost.
Yeah.
It's a great
And I think I'm excited to see what Kenny, but that last when it's been so long. Correct me if I'm wrong. I swear they went to Terry Silver, not his house. Wait, someone's house.
Yeah, they went to Terry's house. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think Johnny was there, Chosen was there, Mike Barnes was there, and Daniel was there, and that was just like it was crazy.
Seeing the 4 of them together was
all
very
of Daniel's
scary.
enemies that he fought. They may have wronged him.
I said this before, like we're all on the younger side, and we love this show to pieces, and we love the original trilogy. But can you imagine being a fan of the original trilogy and growing up with it as it was coming out? Like, there's a disconnect between the movies. Like 1 and 2 are they're 2 different movies. 2 and 3 are 2 different movies. Like each character within them that's not Daniel or Miyagi feels so disconnected to the next movie. So when you go back in time and you say, hey, in a few years, Mike Barnes, Johnny, and Chosen will share a scene. Daniel, I don't believe it.
It's wild.
They share a scene, and I'm like, is it fan servicey? Maybe, but are we really against it?
And
No,
No,
Cobra Kai just feels
Not
so
at
much
all.
closure.
no.
the only thing that was missing from that scene was frickin' Bobby and Jimmy, and then you've got the original Cobra Gang. Like, that's
I want Bobby to come back. Actually, that's one thing that season 6 has to do.
me and the boys
There's a
have said
few
quite a lot there.
interactions I think he
that
needs
Bobby
to
and
have
Daniel will happen.
in season 6.
Mm.
And
There was a
I
little
want him to
theory
just come
that-
back and see Daniel and Johnny and everyone working together and
I
being
fe-
like, what's happening?
Well, there was a little theory that we were talking about the other day where we think that when what will happen is Daniel, Johnny, and Chosen will go to Okinawa to train for a bit, and they'll leave Bobby, Mike, and Jimmy basically defending the turf.
Yes.
Divide and conquer.
Bring back the car.
Bring back the car. I agree. Master Assassin to my side. Jesus Christ. What about you, sir? What's your overall summary of season 5?
Were there 40 minutes of deleted scenes in this season?
No. Just to summarize things up, it's been a long couple of months since the last time I saw season 5, and honestly, I still remember very vividly clear these unforgettable moments what the creators have given us, like when Chosen went up against Terry Silver, mind-boggling to me. If this fight absolutely made me feel I'm watching a movie instead of a TV show. This one fight made me feel like I'm watching a film, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
And this kind of, this goes back to the rest of y'all's points. Like we've gotten scenes that we never thought we will have, like Robbie and Miguel finally, putting their differences aside by beating the living hell out of each other. Which, well, Robbie almost saved.
Julian, what's up, bro?
How's it going, guys?
Hey!
Everyone give a massive welcome to Julian as well. Julian, pick an Avenger.
Oh, boy. Okay. If we're going based on my favorites, I've always been loyal to Steve Rogers. I have 2 shields right now, actually, right in front of me.
Do you know what? I'll let you take it. You can be Captain America.
I mean, he's always been my favorite, at least in terms of the MCU. I don't know why, but I always related to him, and he's
there. You go.
His character
right.
and his character
You're
arc.
Captain America now. I'll be White Wolf.
The White Wolf has been sleeping for too long.
Wakanda, you come out White Panther. White Wolf.
White
But
Wolf.
carry on, Christian, and then we'll go to you next, Julian. Also, everyone, Julian was part of the original Legends idea as well. So, welcome, Julian. It's good to have you on, brother. Look at this.
Welcome
All for
on.
one and one for family. Continue, Chris.
Well, just to carry on, just as I said, Robbie almost suffered the same fate just like Miguel was, but thank God it was quite an intense moments. We got a lot of close moments, intense moments in this season. And honestly, Daniel's arc in this is absolutely one of my favorites. Mike Barnes in this, chosen in one, all the same in the screen, absolutely mind-boggling. Never in my life I would see all of his same actors from the 3 films be together in a TV show like this. It's absolutely like a dream come true. Like
it is. It's so surreal to see. Like every
time
person that I have spoken to about season 5 is just in awe of how amazing this season is. Get him a body back, yeah. So may Rob Garrison rest in. That broke me. Like I will never forget season 2, and when he actually passed, I was like,
it hits you in the feels a lot more. What that happens in real life, you know.
Also because he wasn't sick at the time of filming that. He only got sick afterwards.
So. Afterwards, yeah.
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 Go on, Stuart. Let him know. Let him know, sunshine.
It's very unlucky.
I agree with that.
Very unlucky.
Yeah, that scene in season 2 when they're talking by the campfire and he's saying you're the champ, and the score in that scene too. It's just like
I remember when I did a collaboration with a couple of other people. They were like, "What's your like one chosen, no pun intended, scene?" And and I chose that scene because again, like everyone looks at the show as like, like karate and like all this crazy outlandish stuff. But to me, it's the characters. It's the heart. It's the emotional gravity behind just the lessons. Something as simple as you still have one thing that's more important than anything. You have time to turn it around and change things. And I think that's an important lesson, especially because the person he's telling it to. Normally, when you see that in media, you see it, generally speaking, from the sage character, like an elderly, wise mentor who says it to a younger character. But they're friends who are like, in their 40s, like late 40s, early 50s sort of territory.
In a way.
And it must be so empowering for someone who, in a nice way, is around that age to go, it doesn't matter if I'm that age. It's never too late to turn it around, regardless of how old you are, regardless of where you are in life. There's always another way. And you can always figure out a way to change things for yourself for the better. And that's what I love about this show so much is it's when I watch pop culture, as I'm sure you guys agree, we love our, explosions and fancy CGI and whatever else, but it's the
Michael Bay.
Michael Bay. RJ, what's up? Jacob, I ship it. The OG ship's back. Sup, Kenny? What's up? I got a little picture for you. Where is it? So RJ, I got nothing but love for you, but yeah. But we look for that like deeper story and deeper mineral pop culture kind of. I ship it. I agree, Juliana. Oh, hello. We look for those deeper stories and the things that we can really take away from it. And I remember when my channel first started gaining traction, I remember the conversations I've had with all of you and even the boys, whether that's Shamoon or RJ and Danny and Derek, whoever. The deep conversations I've had with everyone about this show, we could talk for hours, and it's so rare to get that in mainstream media, and also just to have a project that touches people's hearts in such a way where not only does it give people a breath of fresh air, because let's be honest, most of mainstream media at the moment sucks ass, but it's very refreshing. And I just want to take this moment here to say how grateful I am for each and every single one of you, and the boys too, because I look back at those crazy Robbie videos that I just put out there for banter, and look at where we're at now. And it sincerely means the world to me, even to the boys in the comment section. And over the last couple of months, I've really had a lot of interesting things go on, and it's honestly that scene when everyone showed up for Daniel in season 5 that resonates with me just a little bit more now. So thank you, all of you, and to everyone in the chat who shows up every week.
Not a problem, Chief. Not a
whether
problem.
It's a Chosen Live or a Kings of Pop Culture stream or an OG King stream or a Legend stream, either or, it means the world. And when this show is said and done, despite what we think Sony might do with it, I'm grateful that this show existed, and it's given me the family that I always wanted, on top of the family that I already have and love. So I'm grateful for you all.
You know what the biggest mystery is?
What?
Biggest mystery?
What?
How Ralph Macchio looks so
Dude, what's his secret? The man.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How
I mean, the fact he's younger than Thomas and isn't grey, I mean, is a testament, surely.
Yeah, I know.
Is the water good out there in Reseda? I mean, damn. Man.
Also, side note, Julian, didn't you do a rendition of "You're the Champ"?
Dude, Julian, everyone, Julian has some badass music.
It's so good.
Yeah, thank you. I really loved making that one. I think that was almost 2 years ago now that I made that. But I want to do more of the soundtracks for sure.
Yeah,
Dude, your renditions of the soundtracks were so great. I freaking adored them.
You're the best.
Around, everything be down.
They better use that song in the.
Yeah, I think
I stand by what I said in season 4 before the tournament happened. The minute you play that song is when Dimitri eliminates someone.
That's
want
what
him
I
to get it.
Yeah.
Like, Dimitri, like
I would be sick.
some Ponzi pushover from Sensei Kim's dojo comes over and they're just like, oh yeah, I'm this, that, whatever. Dimitri just goes bang like that.
Do you think they're going to use it in a tournament?
A wise man once said, "Never say never."
Are you related to it? Julian?
Yeah, I can see it.
Secret information. Love it.
Do you actually think they're going to use it in a tournament, or do you think they're going to save it for like the last scene and then they cut to credits with it?
Like, don't get me wrong, I think it should be tournament. Like, you've saved it for this long, you've got to use it. Like, you have to use it. It doesn't necessarily have to play when Dimitri knocks someone out, but I think that would be it would be the best time. Like, I there's no other character that I think I would rather give it to than Dimitri, and especially when how self-aware he is. You know, I've said for ages how Robbie and Anakin are almost like literally beat for beat, and you're welcome, by the way, and shout out to all that slandered my ass for 2 years for making Star Wars comparisons. Exactly addressed by the show.
What are we gonna do?
It's a Skywalker. Zoom. Even though his lightsaber was blue. But, you know, hearing Dimitri be so self-aware and say, like, you know, I feel like I'm a helpless Jedi youngling about to get slaughtered. It's just stuff like that, which is freaking hilarious. And that's what I love about the creators. They stay true to their story, but they put in those fun little nuggets, which are just, they're for us. They're for us people. Like, the casual person is just going to go, huh. But those things are for us, you know, and I freaking love that.
Theory time. When they play You're the Best Around, it's going to happen when Bert becomes the Sekai Taikai champion.
I would love to see that. Bert's going to win the tournament, everyone. Oh, yeah. That's it. Bert's knocking everyone up. You remember in season 4, he punches that tall dude, and he's just like, yeah.
That's Thomas's stun double as well. That's what I found even more hilarious.
That's funny.
Wrong one. The hell was that, Ty? What was I going to say? Ty, quick side note. Do you have your like a video or a link ready to drop in the comment section?
I sent it to you on WhatsApp.
Oh, marvelous. Fantastic. Perfect. If you guys had to narrow it down, and I know it's hard, but what is your favorite scene in season 5? What's your favorite scene?
Now, this sounds...
So Ty, we'll start with you.
Okay. It just was badass. Okay. It's just when the end of Robbie and Hawk's fight in the All Valley, and then Robbie's just like, it got to like the 3rd round, and then Robbie was like, you know what, fuck this ski. And then Hawk was like,
by the way, I said season 5. Season 5, sir.
Wait, what?
I said
season 5.
No, I said at the end of the All Valley. Oh, season 5. Oh, I can't remember.
Do you watch the show, or are you like a phone casual watcher?
It's been like 2 years since. Yeah, I can't remember.
He just was calculating. He just was calculating, guys.
I was like,
dude was going crazy.
I thought you meant in Cobra Kai in general. Okay.
No.
I think when. Okay, damn. I think when Kenny threw his thing, he took his key off and was like, he said, "Fuck this," and it's like I had respect for him, thinking, "Hey, you know what, my man." So yeah,
There's Ty's link. Everyone follow his channel over there. Christian, what's your favorite
with Jacob
scene?
every Thursday. We'll try.
Absolutely, we'll try. What's your favorite scene in season 5? In season 5, sir.
Oh, I said, yeah, just I think the end bit, maybe the Mike Barnes stuff, like, yeah,
that was always that was cool.
Oh, and also, wait, Kree's escaping prison, bullshit. It's like, huh? How did that happen?
That's what it's
bullshit. I was like, oh, he's walking out. What's going on? Come on now.
Yeah, that was the most bonkers scene of the entire show.
Ty the waves.
It was
some more bullshit.
It was so weird in a way. It was so strange.
He just walked up out of prison like nothing, thinking. Okay.
So is that your favorite scene?
Yeah, it's just like he just walked out of there like another day.
I mean, Ty, also Fast and Furious is your favorite franchise, right?
Take that statement back, please.
No, please. I refuse.
Take that statement.
I refuse. Everyone follow channels Ty. Everyone follow Ty's channel in the link above. Head on over there, give him a sub, tell him I sent you, and be there. I'm going to pin that to the top of the chat, so get on over there. Christian, what's your number 1 scene in season 5? Mercenary, Bounty Hunter.
That's going to be a hard one, but I would go over for Daniel and Terry Silver's final fight. This fight is it fully shows how far Daniel's character has come over the last couple of seasons. I mean, over the last couple of seasons, he tried his best to destroy Cobra Kai, which is his main motive, and then he just, he hits it more like a brick wall and just falls flat on the floor. He just hits a low blow. He got broken. And Terry Silver is, he's just one of those villains that legitimately broke him. He was the one that actually broke Daniel instead of Kreese. Honestly. Just
that was
the way
a very haunting scene.
Indeed. It serves a very good narrative behind it. And we all have seen what Terry Silver is capable of in the earlier fight. And Daniel nearly gave in to, to Quicksilver method after destroying the wall with his fists. And, well, let's just say he kind of paid the price for trying to use it to Terry Silver because he saw it coming. He knows Daniel very, very well for what he was going to do. But for him learning to balance himself out and be himself again, yep. And he actually annihilated Terry Silver, and more like it takes back to the first film where, and the third film together, he faces fear. He actually used a crane kick defeating him, which he actually bashed.
I love that though. I love the fact that what are you thinking to do it with that crane crap? It's like, suck it.
Yeah.
Suck it. I love it. That's a good choice, Chris. I really do think that Daniel's arc. I remember when I saw the trailer for season 5, and I think we're all in the same camp. The minute you see that trailer, you're like, Daniel's gonna have that arc this season, and just to see it unfold, where I was like, do you know what? Everyone talks about Johnny, and yes, we love Johnny a piece.
Yes, of course.
And everything's been recontextualized, of course. But who's the Karate Kid? Like, it's still Daniel. It's still Daniel.
Yeah.
And I love that this show reminded people of that. It's like, hey, Daniel isn't that much of an arsehole. Like, don't get me wrong. In season 1 and a bit or 2, yeah, there's moments. But, I mean, there was sometimes he pissed me off. I'm not going to lie. But, it was like, you, if you want to get technical, I kicked his face. Like, you just shut up.
I mean, it's true to his character, though. He's a hot.
It is very true to his character, as you say. He's hot-headed, brash. But to see him go on that arc where it's like him getting revenge against the guy that literally tortured him, basically. It's fine to see. How about you, Juliana? What was your number 1 scene?
Oh, there's so many. Honestly, this probably isn't my favorite scene, but I'll start off with this one. Something that I really liked was the dynamic shift in Johnny and Daniel's relationship, where Daniel is the one that comes to Johnny and says, like, we've got to work out how to tear Cobra Kai down. We've got to do this. And he's just really, really stressed because of Terry Silver, where Johnny's now kind of the one that's like, you just got to let it go, man. I've got a family now, and it's a complete switch from how it was at the start, where Daniel was the family man typically, and Johnny was the one investing in Cobra Kai. It was really, really great to see the more kind of relaxed side of Johnny and seeing him be the one that gives advice to Daniel, and how they all come together after Daniel gets beaten up by Terry Silver. So that was really good. Another thing that I liked was watching how Hawk and Dimitri bounced off each other in the finale when they were fighting.
I love their interactions.
And, like, lifting up the iPad and then putting it back down on the desk, and just that whole sequence I feel like was put together really well.
It feels like a Jackie Chan-ish feel to it,
It does, 100%.
Yeah.
So yeah, that one as well. And again, the end of episode 6, that actually made me cry. I'm perfectly okay admitting that. That was just so, and the soundtrack, it was just
like when we were binging through it was that episode where Danny of all people was like, man, we got to take a pause. Like, we had to stop watching for like 10 minutes was it, Evan? Like, we had to stop. Like, we just
it's about 5 to 10 minutes, because I think a lot of
and
us
by
were
that
just in
point,
that
Cody and
moment.
Jamoon had already seen it, so it's like they were living through us vicariously, like seeing it for the first time again. And I was bawling like a baby. I was like, I'm fine. I'm not crying.
Yeah, that just, I think if it didn't get you, there's something wrong with you, honestly.
Beautiful scene.
Yeah, I think that's probably the highlights. I would say as well, the mirroring fight of Robbie and Miguel when they're on the balcony, and just them choosing the opposite way as opposed to the end of season 2. That was really powerful as well. And I like the fact that they did have to fight it out and really relive that experience to actually pull them out of it and be like, and gain some perspective and be like, this is. Yeah,
perspective is important.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, anyway, beautiful scenes.
Great choices. And like in that scene, like you can tell that it takes everything in Miguel's strength to not kick Robbie over the railing, but but also you can tell Robbie stops fighting. If you actually, like, after they get up on the balcony, he stops. He doesn't fight anymore. Like, he's literally just letting Miguel like have at him. And there's actually a scene.
And I like that it was Miguel's choice. I really like that.
I actually don't, because it's very much, oh, you're a Robbie fanboy. Go off. It's very much like a testament of Miguel hasn't got his own back on Robbie since that little ordeal of kicking him over the balcony. He hasn't got his own back on him at all.
And he hasn't built up that amount of strength either.
Nope.
You haven't seen that.
And he's been very patient with Robbie too. Like, he's been very patient.
He has. Yeah. Like, I think everyone gets so caught up on like, oh, who's better, who's stronger. Right. Objectively speaking, if you want to look at the way the show presents it, he's the main character. Of course, Miguel's going to get favoritism. That's just how it goes. But to stay on top, there's only one way to go. If Robbie doesn't keep pushing him, who's going to take over? It's Robbie. So Sekai Taikai winner season 6. I need it. It's his time. And then Miguel, and then Miguel versus Hector, real life fight in season 6.
Mm-hmm.
Real life fight.
I think take it, guys. Everyone, just remember when Johnny wanted to like make those guys squash their beef. Remember when they organized that him and Miguel's grandma organized that escape room, and Miguel's grandma just comes in like, "Hello, I'm
Billy the Kid." This scene's hilarious. Like Stuart's choice here, it's like, shut up, don't talk to me, dude. If this is about the Mohawk, I'm sorry. But if anyone knows how Cobra Kai can tell you it's an arsehole, it's you. Also, I'm an arsehole.
Yeah, that was great.
And he goes on a list and he just roasts him. And I'm like, someone is, no offense to the Hawk fans out there, someone is putting this pipsqueak in his place. Like this.
Oh no, he had to be put in his place.
This guy was on acid. Like, don't get me, Robbie's accidentally done something. And yes, it's terrible, it's bad. Hawk willingly chose to break his best friend's arm and do all this. I may get demonetized, but
then we could argue that Robbie shaved.
And if you want my honest opinion, he got off easy. He got his hair shaved. Like
Yeah.
Miguel ended up in hospital, Robbie ended up in prison. Like Hawk got off way easier than they should have gone in on him. But that's a whole.
I agree. Actually, I would have liked to
That's
have
a whole issue I have with season 4.
I think he should have been roughed up a little more. I do agree there.
Way more. Like there was.
Yeah, I was expecting a lot more than just getting his hair shaved. You know, more like a beat down instead of just getting his
so
hair
much
shaved.
more they could have done with Hawk. Like I already had so many ideas of him and Daniel, and like, oh man,
Yeah.
maybe we'll still get that. Hopefully. But yeah, great choices, Juliana. Evan, sir, Mr. Manister, don't kick you over the banister.
How long have you been sitting on that one? It's a favorite scene.
I'm a twat.
I think it's between two, but for different reasons. What?
I said I'm a twat, and then Juliana's like, "Yeah, you are," and then Ty's like, "Yeah." You're like,
"Oh." At least they're stating facts right there.
Thank you, Evan.
No worries. So I'm just thinking. So it's between either both in this. Yeah. So it's either the scene, but obviously this episode 6 ending because that's Daniel. He's the Karate Kid. Like that shows that he's the Karate Kid, and he needed a moment like that. I think to show that
he did.
Especially with the Amanda scene when she then realizes and says to him, "It's taken me so long to notice." It's just like, this is powerful shit, man. And then you've got the it was episode 5 when Daniel goes to Johnny's apartment and they're arguing, they're bickering, and then Johnny says, "What are you doing?" And that whole conversation after that, and says like when they sit down eventually, it's just like that's such a powerful scene because in other seasons they would have had a fight or something, but that shows how far they've come, and they're joking about kicking each other, and then they go, "Well, that's how we should have done it back in '84, or whatever." And that's why it's one of my favorite scenes because
and it's so simple.
Yeah,
like they're standing there, they're squaring off, and you think, "Oh, bloody hell, here we go."
Yeah, here we go again.
Over again. And then Johnny's like, "What are you doing? Why? Just like earlier on with the crack comment. Why?"
Yeah, exactly. And it's such a powerful scene because that's how it shows how far Johnny's come as well. Because in previous seasons he would have lost it, but again, it's just how far they've come, and that's why it's one of my favorite scenes. But I think episode 6 ending, edges it a little bit more. But
beautiful, lovely choice. What a good choice. Not one you hear a lot. Very good choice. It shows like that level of maturity. Like that's what season 5 is. It's a level of maturity and growth where it's like, you think I broke your heart? You broke mine too. And so who can forget? I haven't done this in so long.
No, don't start.
She doesn't love you. She loves me.
Cringe.
Yeah.
Or we won't.
Really? Really? Really?
And then
really?
What was it? Tori had one where it's like, I'm like, fuck.
No.
But a very good choice, Evan. That's not one you hear quite a lot. I like it. Alex.
Thank you, Jacob.
I'm interested to hear what yours is. I probably have a funny feeling, but I'm excited to hear it.
Dude, if you were in my house watching the apartment fight, you would have thought I was like epileptic or something. I was going crazy. I couldn't believe it was happening. Like I lost my mind. So I have 2 favorite scenes, the apartment fight and the dojo fight. But the apartment fight was awesome because it was like one of the most realist fights in the show.
Smash that like button, people. Nearly 30 people in here.
Where you're like, because it's such a real thing, like that you see like in just everyday life, like when 2 people don't like each other, that's just such a real thing that they just fight it out. Like that's literally how it is.
Duke it out.
Yeah, and I love that fight because like what it means and like how far they've come. And that fight, it wasn't about like who was better between the 2 because people will be like debating that till the end of time. But like it was about like whether or not they were able to move on, despite everything that's like happened and stuff. And just watching that fight, I was losing my mind. Like I was jumping on the couch. My mom was like, "What are you doing?" And I was like just losing my mind. And I just got like my heart. I remember my heart was racing because it's like when they get up to the stairwell, I was like, is he gonna do it? Like, is he actually? There's no way he's gonna do it. He can't do it.
Lie.
You know?
Like, don't really cut you off just to piggyback on what you're saying. Like, I know Miguel, for all intents and purposes, I haven't said that in a while. When they're up on the balcony, looks like he has the upper hand. But when they're in the lead up, Robbie kicks him into the fucking door. Like, he bloody boots him straight into the door, and then he boots him through the door.
He kicked him through a freaking door.
Sorry, Miguel, take a knee. Like, you just got kicked this. Like this man
crazy.
Dropped him, like, did a fly kick, spun him on the floor, booted him against the door, and then drop kicked him into the thing. Like,
and they're wearing skinny jeans.
So
you know how hard it is to throw a kick in skinny jeans? Like, oh my god.
It actually depends what kind of jeans they're wearing, because there are jeans that are flexible.
True.
Those fight seasons.
But yeah, season 5, that apartment 5 is awesome. And like you said, Jacob, like,
I remember you messaging me after that. You're like, bro, dude,
I lost my crap. Yeah. And like you said, I noticed that like Robbie stops fighting. And Sholo posted like the training and like for that fight scene, and it's longer. And what happens is that when Robbie's like against the railing, he actually like punches Miguel in the face.
Take that, Miguel fanboys.
Yeah, he pushes him up against the wall, and he's like it looks like he's trying to stop him. Like he's like, stop, like
they should have kept that in, because then it just looks more like he's trying.
Yeah, but
like, come on, no. Still plays.
But he's like, yeah, and he's like trying to stop him, but then that's when Miguel like pushes him, and he's about to do the thing. But I love that moment too, because like it was so like it was a testament to like who both of them were, and like seeing that like not only was that traumatic for Miguel and like his family, but I was also traumatic for Robbie, because of like that was his descent into, you know, becoming the thing that everyone kept telling him.
With the best shot in the entire show, that season 3 trailer. The blood
the smile. That shot was crazy.
In the whole show. The whole show, I'm sure RJ would agree.
But also when Robbie said as well, just after that fight, that was the worst day of his life. Mm-hmm. And I think people really underestimate the impact that it had on him mentally. You know, obviously it caused a lot of trauma for Miguel and his family.
Robbie stopped.
Definitely.
Yeah. And you see Miguel's like, he starts crying too, and like Robbie apologizes to him, and because he's like starting to see like, because he knows what that feels like when you, because he just experienced it, the whole like losing control,
being on the other side. Like, I know we love, again, I say this in context because I know you're in the comments. We love Miguel to pieces. We do. He's, you know, Shola Marjueña, he's El Serpiente, he's the man. But because we started with him, and we went on the adventure with him, and he's the guy that we kind of lived through. He's Johnny's main, you know, for all intents and purposes, main student, fills the son role. We never really, and this is why I love doing videos on Robbie during the season 3 time, is because everyone was always like, Hawk, Miguel. And I'm like, hold up a minute here.
Yeah.
What about the guy that just kicked him over the railing? How's he, like, what's that psyche like? How does that affect someone? And
it is very strange he didn't get any attention from that moment on. It was only talking about
like the show in that angle, when you can go, okay, you know, wow, I don't realize how much that's had an effect on him. Like, hearing that it was the worst day for both of them, and Robbie wishing he could take it back, you know, it's just, it's so beautiful, and it's such a testament to Tanner and Sholo's performance during that scene. And like, Miguel holds everything back to not boot him over the railing. Like, you can tell he really wants to do it, saying, hey, mother, like, you did this to me, over you go. But he holds himself back, and that's what's so great about Miguel, is he's the heart of the show. Like, he always has been. And this is why, for when season 6 rolls around, when you give Robbie the trophy in the Sekai Taikai, I'm standing by that, you let Miguel have the real life fight, because that's what Miguel's character is. He's the evolution of all the lessons. And him having a real life Karate Kid 2 type fight against his dad, I think would be so poetic. And also, it would be beautiful.
And also, he started karate because of getting bullied at school. He didn't start it to, you know, actually train and win tournaments. He did it for a real life purpose. So I think that would definitely be a full circle moment for sure.
Yep, exactly. Like, there's so many teachings that he can carry on with and take, and it's great. But Alex, that choice, beautiful.
Yeah. And then my other favorite scene is the dojo fight, because of like like it was just like these kids have been fighting each other for like a year and a half now, and just seeing them like all together. And I love how it started too. Like it started with Kenny and Miguel, you know, the old like Cobra Kai prodigy and the new Cobra Kai prodigy, and they're like, you know, kind of, you know, against each other and whatnot. And, like this is the way it starts, you know, where Kenny's about to start a fight with Robbie, and Miguel just like comes in and like, stops it from happening. I was like, holy shit, I have to rewatch that.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie, Kenny backed up real quick. 30 people watching right now. Smash that like button, everyone. Wow. But he backed straight up. It was just like, you know, he's like, the only person who lied to me is you. And then, you know, he's just like, whoa.
Yeah.
Funny.
But yeah, Dojo fight, it was great. And like seeing all the kids, like you said, Juliana, like all the kids, like Hawk and Dimitri work together, and like them like helping each other out was cool. And like the fact that like Miguel like didn't take, like he's the only one that walked out of there like unscathed was freaking like crazy.
He just had
like,
fun stomping Kenny onto
dude,
the
he was just
time.
like every
like,
person
Shamoon,
that came
stop
up to him
bullying
was
RJ.
destroyed. Yeah, it was just like it was a reminder of like why this kid is like it was a reminder of like why Johnny put Miguel through so much, because he knew he had it in him to be the best, you know. And just like when he saves Robbie too, like I love that moment when he saves Robbie, not because like they get to kind of work together, but the fact that like Miguel kept fighting for Robbie when like because Robbie's trying to catch his breath, he kept fighting for Robbie.
Tell him.
And, like, yeah, it was just insane. I love that scene. It was awesome. It was crazy. So yeah,
Definitely.
And I actually do like that Robbie and Hawk, because Miguel had been away from Cobra Kai for probably the longest out of the three of them at this point. I really liked how Hawk and Robbie were the ones to cop the technique where they ran out of breath, like the punch to the chest.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was just very fitting that it was the two of them that needed help and needed saving.
Yeah. It was very for the both of them.
Mm.
With all the stuff that they've done, like that's one thing I will say. The hair shaving thing, yeah, but he did get silver bulleted, so I'll give him his due. That was, you know, and I think for me, it's just a level of maturity. Like it again, everyone does the power scaling thing. It's like, oh, who's more powerful? It's like, no, it's about balance. It's about connecting. And what I noticed during Chosen's exercise, and they're like, everyone has a special role. They've got a team, like for all intents and purposes. I haven't said that in so long. It's broke as you're here, Alex. Sam and Miguel, like that's the king and queen. Like if it's chess, that's the king and queen. Hawk and Robbie, they're the knights. Like they kicked the fuck out. Like they kicked it back. They're like, okay, quick 1, 2, bang, away you go. And then trying to take his head off at the same time. You've got Dimitri and Anthony, like the brains of it. You know, you've got Kenny with his like speed in there, and same as Devon. Everyone has a role to play, and I'm excited to see what they do with that for next season.
Yeah, indeed.
Very good choices, Alex. Very good choices. Oh, never disappoints, sir. Julian, what's your favorite scene of season 5, Captain America?
It's tough. I mean, it's hard to say anything that hasn't already been said, but my initial thought was the Robbie Miguel fight and the aftermath of it. But also, I just love watching Terry Silver. Anytime he's on screen, you can tell Thomas Ian Griffith is having so much fun with the role.
Definitely.
And he really does steal the scene. He has such a presence about him too. And I mean, his stature helps with that for sure. It's just so fun to watch him. And I think after, you know, everything with Karate Kid 3, love it or hate it, they've really given him a chance to redeem himself. So
yeah, they've really
it's how well written it was. So I think that just it shows if you can write him even better.
Yeah, exactly. He always had the talent to do what he's doing in Cobra Kai. It's just
Garrett's comment. He gets it.
And also at the end of episode 6, when everyone comes together with Daniel in the dojo too. That scene is just it's iconic. It's amazing.
Beautiful. It's beautiful. Those are some very good choices. Like it's been fascinating to hear what everyone's kind of scenes are. Like Evan, I do like your one as well, because it's not one that many people say, because it's not got the most, let's say, emotional gravitas, but it's got so many layers to it. And it's so subtle, but the level of maturity is insane. But we've all got like so many great scenes. And we've all said like crazy stuff. I've got so many favorite scenes from this season, whether it's Mike and Chosen and Johnny saying we're going to go
Same.
kick that guy's ass, you know, or whatever. But my channel was built on a particular premise. It was built on a particular foundation and narrative that Robbie will come home.
There was an idea.
There was an idea to bring
It was
Robbie
an
back.
idea.
And also, I do want to say, in season 6, announcing the winner of the Sekai Takai, Robbie Lawrence Diaz.
You don't think that's a bit of a stretch, Jacob?
No.
You don't think that those last names are a bit of a stretch?
No, not with Sony involved.
Not with Sony
I would
involved.
prefer Robbie Lawrence.
It's Sony.
I would really prefer Robbie Lawrence on its own, but Diaz is a badass surname as well. Like
Diaz is cool. Yeah.
Like Lawrence and Diaz, like them two are it's like having basically Miguel and Robbie. It's just but I'll deadlock my scene. We know what scene I'm gonna choose. It's when Robbie came home. Everything about it was absolutely freaking beautiful. And
spit on it, dude. Yeah.
There's no one that could have brought Daniel out of the pits of hell apart from Robbie.
No
one.
Perfect.
Like Amanda and Sam knew, right? Daniel's not going to listen to us. We've been there since day one. Who's the one person he felt extremely guilty for since season 3? Robbie. Who's his main student? Sorry, every Sam person in the comments. Sorry, RJ, if you're watching.
Whatever.
But Sam, yes, she's his daughter and whatever else, but his student, his apprentice, is Robbie Keane.
He's what put him back into karate. So
yeah, and it's that Miyagi teaching of what you put out will come back to you tenfold. He wanted to help Robbie. He took him under his wing. He gave him a home. And then all of a sudden, Robbie is the one that brings him back.
Yeah.
It's so beautiful. And, you know, a scene like that is the amount of emotional buildup is incredible. And everything before it, like just even before Robbie walks in, you've got like the great scene that happened before with Kreese in prison. And with it, this is how great Cobra Kai is. You go from epic badassery to emotional, like everything, the next scene. And you've got Daniel and Amanda talking, and Miyagi's presence is being honored. You're seeing all these memories, this nostalgia. And Daniel's like, I've screwed up. Like, what can I do? And then Robbie's like, hello, hi, I'm back. And just them having a conversation and forgiving each other and showing the level of growth that Robbie's gone on since he last saw him from a vengeful, bitter teenager who was in trouble with the law and was scared to being, you know, the one going, hey, let's do this thing. We need you, you know? And Daniel, go ahead.
Oh, no, sorry, you finished.
No, you go ahead. I'm going to piggyback off.
Okay, thanks. I was just going to say, I think Robbie has definitely been a victim of circumstance in a lot of situations, like not talking about during Cobra Kai, but before and his childhood.
Before.
I think he always felt trapped in that sort of box that he could never escape from. And to see him kind of come out of that, I think, you know, we've really seen that. I think, you know what, Robbie has always struck me as someone who always had an
the hell was that?
I don't know. But he's always had like an innate sense of
take care, Julian, if you're heading out, man. Everyone raise a toast to Julian in the chat.
Yeah, sorry guys. I would be able to stay longer normally, but I have work and it's probably going to be the coldest day of
that's okay, bro. Everyone give Julian a massive point emoji in the chat.
Later, Julian.
Going outside tonight in potentially minus 60 Celsius weather, so it's going to be fantastic. That's with the wind.
Jesus.
Damn,
good luck to you, sir.
2 weeks ago, we had like no snow where I live, and now we got like 1.5 feet of it in the last week, and winter hit us hard. So,
oh my god! Well, always remember this one thing, Julian. This will motivate you.
I guess love conquers.
Hey, Alex, it's your favorite quote ever.
Have a great night.
I used that the other day as a joke, and it just.
Oh God, really?
but yeah, like as I was saying, like I've always felt like Robbie's had an innate sense of right and wrong, and he's always struck me as someone that is a lot more complicated the more you dig. And I feel like despite the other kids, you know, obviously, you know, eventually differentiating what's right from wrong, choosing who they want to be, all that sort of stuff. I have always felt like Robbie has felt restricted, and he hasn't been able to fully, come out of that box and actually represent who he really is. And I just, ever since even season 1 and 2, I've always felt like he definitely has this kindness about him that's been very dismissed because of everything that's happened, and because he was introduced as Miguel's opposite and all these different things. So now to see him to really be the one that brings Miyagi-Do and Daniel back, essentially, I feel like there isn't anyone who would have been better than him for that. And he's had to do so much growing on his own. He hasn't had the same mentor.
Like I always said, like everyone talks about the karate and Miguel's this, that, whatever. Hold on a minute.
Of course.
Hold on.
He is, but
Miguel at least had a loving mother and a loving yaya. Who did Robbie have? Before the karate, before Johnny was like, I'm going to teach you how to be a badass to some, Ecuadorian kid that shows up out of the blue. Before that even happened, where was Johnny for 16 years of Robbie's life?
Exactly. And I think
life, not karate, life.
No, of course. And I think for Robbie to be able to grow in the way that he has without having that childhood that he deserved, I think is a testament to how strong-willed he is as a person. And he's so easily overlooked.
And it's so poetic. It's so poetic too, because like he got into it by accident. Like he's the only one out of the 6 kids that got into it by accident, and like how he's
like for any other reason than just to get back to his dad. Like,
and the fact that he comes to, and him helping Daniel is also like a kind of like him accepting his destiny. Like even though he got into it on accident, he's like, this is where I'm gonna go. This is where I'm needed most, and this is where we're gonna, win. So I think that's cool.
I'll tell you what is a really underrated scene in the whole of the show. It's this one. Hang on, where is this going to come up? It's there you go. It's this one. This is the most underrated scene in the show.
Yes.
Oh my goodness!
This is also
dude. That scene is crazy. Holy crap!
This man,
with me. I was like,
make no mistake, we love all the kids equally, but one of them's got a street background. He doesn't care. He walked straight into this man's dojo and basically said, fuck you, right? And all of this, it's BS. I'm calling you out on it. And he didn't care. And Terry has that look in his eye of, you little, like, he's like, you. And Robbie's just
the
like,
fact he claps him as well. He's just like, yeah, you know what you're doing.
But it's crazy though. Look at the height.
Oh, and Robbie's just got no fear. It's amazing.
Doesn't flinch. Doesn't move.
An underrated shot.
Dude, he's literally his father
right
son.
there.
That's crazy.
Is why another reason why Robbie has to get the dub, because it's personal. It's personal for him, and it feels like this is setting the foundation for him to say, "Excuse me, no more of this Cobra Kai stuff." Oh, he can be the one to keep Cobra Kai going. Nah, away. Take it out.
On your bike.
I think another.
Brilliant.
I think that another scene that is also very important to Robbie's character is when he finally realized.
Guys, I'll save the MCU stuff for the next time because we've hit for like the hour mark, so we'll just keep running with Cobra Kai discussion till the end of it.
As I was saying, one other moment that I think we should never ignore is the fact Robbie finally broke the chains of his bitterness and his from the tournament, and when he finally meets his father to the Cobra Kai dojo, finally open-minded to talk to his father after what happened to Kenny. It's very much a big mirroring of what he became, and he realized he screwed things up. And this, because of this scene, is what led him to this new path. If he didn't reconcile with his father, we wouldn't get him, in the same Robbie from in season 5. He would not be that the one that we knew. So I think that's another important moment to his character, that he finally reconciled with his father, knowing that he really messed up. messed up of joining Cobra Kai, thinking he's gonna, to get back at his father for everything they did to him. But little did he know, he made things a lot more worse. Even if he knew who Terry Silver was.
Benefit of
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I like that scene that Evan brought up too, because that's where I realized, like, out of all the adults, like, Silver hates Johnny the most, and like out of all the kids, like, Silver hates Robbie the most. Like, it's like he hates the Lawrences the most out of everybody. I think that's cool.
He detests them. Like, he absolutely.
I think it's because of the link to Kreese and how Johnny is Kreese's soft spot as well. I think that definitely plays into it too.
Like, it's all that personal stuff where, you know how, like, Kreese was always like, hey, your real son, why is Miguel the centerfold? Blah, blah, blah. It's the same thing, but worse. Like, Terry's like, hey, and with season 4, it's laid the groundwork for some things. And, that whole, like, oh, it's not, this, that, whatever. It's because you're trying to get back at Johnny. It's basically like trying to get back with an ex-partner, to get at an ex-partner. Like, it's weird. It's a twisted kind of thing, and I think that's why Silver's like, excuse me, you just used me to prove a point against Johnny. Like, that's what you did. I feel used. I feel literally like you got me here. Your so-called best friend for him. Not you, Chris. I was pointing at you.
Yeah, I'm aware of that, pal.
But now that Silver's in jail and Kreese has escaped, I'm really interested to see what the hell happens between those two, honestly.
Well, you say Silver's in jail. He ain't going to jail. Like, there's no way.
They'll find a way to get him out.
Like, pay for a lawyer, get him out. Blah, blah.
They'll find a way. I
He's
think
got a lawyer
also,
somewhere.
as ridiculous as him escaping prison is, that scene and that song choice, it communicates a one-way ticket. Like, doing it my way, like, it feels like it's setting up a Vader redemption, like a Vader death. Like, I know I've said about redemptions and wasting characters, but I just have a feeling there's a soldier's exit for him. I have a feeling that
he has to go in a way.
Oh, for sure.
He's on borrowed time. Like, something's off.
For sure.
He is a soldier.
And also because he chose to leave knowing that he would be on the run, not be able to have that freedom as well. So he's got to have some sort of agenda, I feel like.
There's got to be something afoot. And I think for majority of, like, the first part of season 6, I say, like, 3 or 4 episodes minimum, he will be in the shadows. He'll be there, but he'll be operating from the shadows. He'll be like this, and you guys will be like Sensei Kim in the Fist. He'll just be operating in the wings as it progresses, sort of watching the ongoings. In terms of Silver and Kreese, I know people are kind of split on it, and some people think that Silver is kind of done. But for me personally, I think him and Kreese need to have a fight. And it needs to play out exactly like this. You know how they've set it up with the flashback actor? What you do is you have them in the pose. So think of, I guess, the shot from The Last Jedi of Luke and Kylo on Crate. Like, think of that shot. And then the camera pans and it cuts to young Kreese and young Silver. And then it cuts back and forth of young Kreese and young Silver in like a training fight. Fast forward to them actually fighting. And that, again, echoes and mirrors season 3 when Captain Turner was fighting Kreese. Like, it's like a cool back to that.
Did you guys see? You see Creed 3 when it's Creed against Damien, and they're fighting in like the prison cell, and then if they can do some sort of replica of that with Silver,
clean. If it cuts back and forth, like if it has moments like how like Sam and Tori had their fight in season 4 in the All Valley, and it played like a montage of the fights. You could do stuff like that, like, and make it emotional. Like, it's this is what I really want from this season, is emotional payoff. Like, we've got the maturity stage. It's time to start emotionally paying things off. And I think a Kreese versus Silver fight, it will be great to see, but it will be almost heartbreaking. Like, it's like these guys are best friends. It's Anakin and Obi-Wan all over again. Like, it.
Oh yeah.
Like, they meant it during Vietnam. And it's this fight is going to determine who's the better soldier.
And I'd be interested to see how Kim Sun-young fits into it as well.
Me too.
I'm so keen for that.
Me too. Lots of reveals and revelations and things to come. But we have the hour and 15 mark. So what I'll do going forward is that this hour has flown by.
Oh yeah.
Like, do you guys feel that the hour is absolutely blown by, and I feel like we've just scratched the surface. But I think that's good to leave it in a good place where we can sort of resume conversation for the next time, and it'll give us some more to talk about.
Surely.
Going forward from this point on, there will be like a few things that we'll be talking about on streams. These will probably happen, I'd say, once a month. So it will be mostly us guys. Julian will be back, hopefully, and get some more people on as well. But it's great, and thank you all for coming on. Honestly, everyone give a massive toast to all of these people in the comment section. Everyone give them a toast. So give a massive toast to the Incredible Hulk, aka Christian. A massive round of applause to the Black Panther, aka Ty. A massive round of applause to Spider-Man, Alex. A massive round of applause to Evan, Iron Man, with his Cobra Kai mug. And a massive round of applause to Black Widow, Juliana. And thank you all for joining in. These streams will happen monthly. And I will be doing more streams on a regular on Saturdays anyway as well. So this is part of the new future of the Chosen verse, if you will. There is going to be some steps in place, and it's going to be fun. So Ty, I've left
Jacob,
the link
take a bow
to his channel.
Jacob, take a bow. You forgot to thank yourself. Yeah, you take a bow.
Stop.
Take a bow. Take a bow. Come on, take a bow.
Right, I guess I can.
Hey, pint to Jacob, folks.
There we go. Had to get a little lightsaber spin in there just because it's me.
Thank you.
Oh God.
And shout out to the
Nothing's changed with you,
OG
Jacob.
Kings tomorrow. What did you say, Alex?
Nothing's changed with you.
I mean, what makes you say that? Do you remember like that one video I did? And I just need to bring it up because it's a funny memory where, you know, I've noticed people are talking a lot more about Robbie and liking him a lot more lately. I'm like, hey man, that's what I do.
That's what I do. That's what I do. I remember that video. Yeah. That's what I do.
That's what I do. And you're like, man, what a pat on the back, Ty. What was that?
What? Wasn't me.
As you're like, what a pat on the back that was. Yeah, that was a whole thing. But the other one was like, you know, she you know, Tori was in shock. You know, she saw what Hawk did to Brooks.
Even she was in shock. Yeah, I remember that one.
But thank you everybody for tuning in. Appreciate you. Give a massive shout out and round of applause to these guys for joining me today as well. OG Kings is tomorrow. Danny's got a great list for us in store. Ty, you've got your channel link in the chat above. It's pinned. So everyone head on over there, subscribe to Ty. Tell him I sent you. I didn't know what you were doing with your hand then. Tell him I sent you. And yeah, it's going to be great. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be great. And just for shits and giggles, looking at the camera, we're all going to try and hold face one more time. Okay? And I'm really going to try not to break this time. But Evan, you got me at the start of the stream. And it really, because you're just like, okay. 3, 2, 1, and go. I don't know whose one was funny. Just Ty, what the heck? Honestly, I think this is the number one. This is the number one.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Right.
Good night,
Thank
Klaus.
you everybody for tuning in, and just for a bit of banter, let's play some clips before I...
Jesus Christ. Oh, you come for the king? Yeah!
And thank you everybody for watching. One final clip. Farewell. See you soon.
It's just good business.